All right, still with me, attorneys David Bruno and Randy Kessler. David Bruno, what's going on here? You're a former prosecutor, defense attorney now. Is this much ado about nothing?
Gamesmanship at its best right now, because look, as lawyers, we want cases tried in the courtroom. We don't want the public statements out there, especially with jury pools. It's very important that juries remain objective. And here, the defense attorney's doing his job. Because look, I wasn't aware that the recording had just innocuous information and a friendly banter. I don't think it helps Murdaugh at all, because we've heard the 911 call time after time where he just says that he just shows up on scene and finds them like that. That doesn't help that Murdaugh's on scene. It doesn't help him there. But at the same time, the defense attorney wanted the gag order at the start of this case, knew that the jury pool was going to be important, knew that the Murdaughs were very popular in the area, and they had concerns from the get-go. So now with that information coming out about the video, that really hurts Murdaugh in light of the 911 call. They want to even the playing field. I don't blame them. But in the end, this case is going to be tried in the courtroom with evidence that's presented to the jury under the rules of evidence, and everything's going to be vetted and hopefully to an objective jury.
Yeah, you know, Randy, there's an old saying, when you have the facts as an attorney, you argue the facts. When you don't, you pound the table. I think this is a lot of pounding the table, because this tape, Harpootlian had said previously that Murdaugh was with his mom, or I think mom or dad, who has Alzheimer's during the time that this happened. He was nowhere near where it happened. Well, this flies in the face of that. So he's got to distract people from the fact that he said that earlier, and it flies in the face of what was his quote-unquote airtight alibi.
Right, but now I do get to disagree with David and with you a little bit, Michael, because while I agree with you that the tape, does do that, it discredits him. The leak is what we're talking about, right? We're not talking about the tape, we're talking about the fact that it was leaked. So now he knows how it looks, and now he can prepare better for trial to know that this is going to be out there and it's going to be said and spun in a certain way. He can gauge the reaction of the public, and so now we can better prepare for it. The tape is there, so you can't stop the fact that the tape's there. We can comment about whether the tape is helpful or hurtful, but the question is, because it was leaked, now he knows what's coming, and now he can figure out how do people respond to it, what kind of impact does it have. So I think it actually helps him to some degree. Whether it was illegally leaked or whether it was improperly or unprofessionally leaked, that's for another court and another decision maker, maybe the bar, maybe the judge, maybe a bar inquiry. But I think leaking something like that gives him sort of first shot at, okay, let's see how this impacts things. Let's see what all the commentators say about it, and let them sort of evaluate how damaging is that bit of evidence. So the leak, in some ways, helps the defense.
Yeah, it does. It gives him an opportunity to soften this whole thing up, that's for sure. And I think he did a decent job of that, because as David said, he said, the context was given to us now, because we'd seen this video earlier, and again, it jumped out at us here in the studio that it was very damning. But then when you find out it's a little bit different in terms of the overall context, it does soften the blow a bit. But David, as a former prosecutor, is this something prosecutors would do, and why would they do it? It seems this guy's already public enemy number one. Is it really needed for them to put this out to make him look even worse?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't have done it personally, and if my office did it running underneath me, I would have a problem with it as well. Look, there's opportunity for getting things out into the press. It's not through leaks. It's not through witness statements that are released. We have open court proceedings where we have opportunity to make argument. There was bail hearings. There was statements made by the prosecutor. If you need to get stuff out like that, especially for the press, do it in court, not through other means. I would never have done it. I wouldn't let anybody in my office do it either.
All right, now the South Carolina Attorney General responded to the leak allegations, basically saying what you're saying. Contrary to what Mr. Harpootlian said at his news conference, it is categorically false that the Attorney General's office leaked any information in the Murdaugh murder case. We've been in communication with SLED, and they deny that they told anyone that our office had leaked anything. And as we said in our response, in opposition to the motion to compel, this is, quote, a not unexpected but completely blatant attempt to create drama where formerly there was none. All right, so the drama continues out there in South Carolina. That's happening on Monday. Of course, folks, we're going to keep you updated on what happens there. All right, gentlemen, stand by. It is time for us to take a break. The jury has gone